Alright, so I was just going about my merry business, and I decided to hack this woman. There are things in this game called Bloom agents, and Bloom is the evil corporation that is kind of behind Chicago's CTOS system. And these Bloom agents, if you hack into them, they'll call in like this woman is, and she'll report me.
Copy, thanks. We'll boost this bounty and issue a new contract.
So when you have a bounty added to you, that's when people can begin to randomly hack into you and try to claim that bounty, which is essentially XP towards leveling up in their game. I don't realize at this point that I still have my gun out, so I'm like, what the fuck are people talking about? And I'm like, oh, I still have my gun out. Let's put that away. So usually it takes maybe half hour or so to have a bounty collection attempted against you. So I figure I've got a little bit of time, and I'm going to go over to this ATM because I've spent some time taking bank account information so far tonight. Got me some cash, but immediately I'm already being hacked, and I just can't believe it came in this quickly. I think more and more people are starting to play this game. So now the idea is, inside that purple circle somewhere you see on the mini-map, there's a human who's trying to download information about me and steal my files. So essentially what you have to do is use the profiler, which you can see me using now, to scan everybody that you see, everybody that might be in vehicles. You see me looking at cars here. That's one of my favorite strategies, is to actually hide in a car, because people might run straight past you and not even look. Now, to make it a little bit easier, because as you can tell, it's a pretty large circle, and it just got smaller, is that at every 25% interval on that download that you see in the top left, that circle gets a little bit smaller. So that means my life's going to get a little bit easier, and the hacker's life is going to get a little bit harder, because now they have a smaller area in which to hide, and I have a smaller area in which I have to search. Now I'm going to scan these cars here, because this, like I said, is one of my favorite strategies. But it looks like he's not here, so I'm going to do this back alley real quick. We're going to hit another 25% interval here in a couple of seconds, and you'll see that circle gets smaller again. This is generally, I've never identified anybody before 50%. Really, there are just too many people, too many places to hide. And I'm actually making a mistake here, because a lot of times people will hide like up on little ledges and stuff like that. They'll climb up on low rooftops, and as you can see, you haven't seen me look up on any rooftops. Now here you can see me like shooting my gun. Not a very good selection because it's suppressed, but what I'm trying to do is get the NPCs to panic. They'll start to run away, and NPCs run notably differently than humans do. So I'm trying to draw out the enemy by revealing him, by making the other NPCs panic. As you can see, that circle is really small now, and there he is. I spotted him. Now, he wasn't in that car before, but he's here now. So now the goal is, for the enemy, he just has to escape. If he escapes, he'll get a partial success because he got a partial download. My goal is to kill him before he can escape. Now, he made a good selection. He's in a pretty fast car. I am not. And, you know, maybe I could have run a little bit further into that parking lot to get a faster car, but with him in a fast car, I just gotta get moving, because it doesn't take very long to evade. I think the range is like 200 meters or something like that, so it will not take long. Now, luckily for me, it's really hard to drive in this game, and especially if you've got a really powerful vehicle like what he has, you can kind of lose control pretty easily. So, you know, a lot of times it's just about kind of picking your moment. So I'm going to let him drive, I'm going to drive, and, you know, we'll see what happens. See, he's about to evade. I don't think he was out of range, but he has been on the run long enough that he could be considered evaded. Luckily, he screws up. Like I said, it's pretty easy to lose control of these cars. So now, I think I got him screwed. I'm going to select my weapon and finish him off with a headshot. Unfortunately, unloading a full automatic weapon.
911, state your emergency, please. Hey, there's a guy shooting over here.
Yeah, typically scares the civilians a little bit, so now the police are going to look for me. Inside that yellow circle is where CTOS will identify me and mark me for police. As you can see, they're doing a pretty good job identifying me, but I've just managed to drive outside of the circle just in time. However, they're expanding their search, and you can see another yellow circle beginning to close in. Unfortunately, I'm still in my bumfuck car, so I will not be able to outrun that circle. They've identified me, and the cops are locked in, so now I have to try and evade the cops. Now in the bottom right corner you can see I have pretty low heat. I'm in probably the bottom 20, bottom quintile or so. So now I'm just trying to select an area to go. It kind of helps if you know where you're going if you're trying to evade the cops. So I figure I should at least try and head for my safe house, because I want to save when I'm done with this. Unfortunately, the route that the game wants me to take is directly towards the cops, so I'll have to go for plan B. I thought I'd just try this out. I think the game kind of gave me that one, because I don't understand why all of a sudden the cop would veer off course. So one down, one to go. So I figured that worked pretty well, so I'll try that again. This may become a common strategy for me. Drive just through the intersection, wait for the cop to approach, and screw him over. 2 down, no more backup, although I've got the heat, as you can see on the bottom right, it's a lot higher. So I'm glad they didn't send 3, because I think if I went any further, they'd probably send a helicopter after me. Now here I was panicking. I was like, oh my god, this game's gonna freeze, I'm gonna lose it all. But I'm good. So came back, and all I gotta do now is drive outside that gray circle. I've done so well, and I totally just screw that civilian over. So that's gonna decrease my reputation, unfortunately. I went that whole time without killing a civilian, but at least I got that hacker. Thanks for watching.